Hello everyone, I'm Fozzie or Cam, and I'm here as always with my co-host Will. How you doing today, Will?
I'm doing great, Cam. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and we have a super fun episode planned for you guys. As you guys can tell, this episode is coming out on Super Bowl Sunday, so that means the Super Bowl is today. We have a lot to talk about regarding the Super Bowl. We are gonna make our predictions for the game. We're gonna discuss and break down the halftime show, which, spoiler alert, I am not very excited for. And we're also going to discuss the possible trailers that are going to be released during the halftime show, during the commercial breaks. So right after that, I'd like to start with the predictions. Will, I'd like to hear what you have to say first. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, and who do you want to win the Super Bowl, or do you want the same person to win that you think is going to win? Let's hear it.
First of all, I'm so I'm so glad that you said who do you think's going to win and who do you want is or and who do you want to win, because I've got two different answers here.
Same
I'm
here.
going to go ahead and start with who I want to win. I want the San Francisco 49ers to
Same
win
here.
because I've seen enough of the Chiefs winning lately. And granted people said the same thing about the Patriots when they were winning all of their Super Bowls, and I get it, but I'm a Patriots fan, so I had a right to
Yeah.
root for my team back when they were doing all of that winning. And I'm not a Chiefs fan, so I'm allowed to say that, even though I didn't say it for the Patriots. I've seen enough of the Chiefs winning lately. They're in, at minimum, the AFC Championship game every single season, but they have their two Super Bowls. They have won two Super Bowls in I believe the last 4 years, if I have that
I'm pretty
correct.
sure.
They have had their time in the sun. And while I have nothing against any of the players on that team personally, I just want some diversity in the NFL, and I don't want it to be the same team winning every single season. In this 49ers team, they remind me of your NBA team, Cam, the Boston Celtics, where they've been so close for
Yeah.
so many seasons, even made it to the Super Bowl
Yeah.
a few seasons ago, just like the Celtics made it to the NBA Finals a couple seasons ago, but they just haven't been able to get over the hump.
Yeah, that
Um,
was a really good comparison.
Thank you. And so, yeah, I I would like the Niners to win because I've seen this Chiefs team win before. I don't want them to win again. I want some diversity in the NFL amongst who the winners of the Super Bowl are each season. And I would be very happy for this 49ers team to finally be able to get over the hump when they've been so close so many years but just haven't quite been able to get there. I would be very happy for them if they win today. I think the Brock Purdy story is incredible. I hate to say it, but I think it's Tom Brady-esque what he's done these past two seasons. Brady was the
Yeah.
199th pick in the draft. Brock Purdy, even lower. He was the final pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And yet here he is. It's unbelievable. So I want the Niners to win this game. But in terms of who I think is going to win this game, well, that is a whole different story, Cam,
Yeah.
because you can call me late to the party all you want to. But I finally decided that I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs anymore. That's what I've just decided. And going into the AFC Championship game, I picked the Ravens to win that game because I said, "Hey, I it's not like I haven't seen the Chiefs lose in the playoffs before. They did lose to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. They did lose to Joe Burrow and the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. They did lose to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. It's not like I haven't seen them lose playoff games. And let's be honest, this was not your typical dominant Chiefs season this year. Their receivers, in particular Marquez Valdez-Scantling, were dropping passes all season. This did
Yeah.
not look like the Chiefs team that we knew. And the Ravens, I thought they had entered into a zone where I thought they were the best team in the NFL. Ever since they beat the Niners on Christmas Day, I thought the Ravens had established themselves as the best team in the NFL, and Lamar Jackson had established himself as the MVP of the league, which he just won at the NFL
Yeah,
honors,
he did. Yeah.
I believe, last night. So, and the Ravens even had the home field advantage. So I just personally thought, hey, the Chiefs, it's amazing what they've been able to do in recent years, but it's not like I haven't seen them lose playoff games before. And I just thought the Ravens were the better team. I just thought it was their year. Oh, no. The Chiefs win the game. And then, yeah, I mean, the Chiefs win the game.
Yeah.
And MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, the guy who is known for dropping passes all season, ironic is that? And what this comes down to, Cam, is what Mike, who we've had on this podcast before, said to me. He said to me that he should have seen it coming because he said that this is what he would see the Patriots do time and time again. Just when you thought they were done, they would show you that they're not done. And Cam, I actually have a Patriots equivalent to this Chiefs team. Tell me what you think of this. The last Patriots team that won the Super Bowl, the team that beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game on the road and then beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. What was the talk throughout that entire season? This is not your typically dominant Patriots team. Brady does not have depth at the receiver position. There's no way they're going on the road and beating the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game with Patrick Mahomes and that high-powered offense. But they did.
Yeah.
Now let's take a look at the Kansas City Chiefs. All the talk this season, not your typically dominant Chiefs team. Mahomes doesn't have the depth at the receiver position that he did in the past. They're not going to be beating the Ravens on the road in the AFC Championship game. But they did. So after that game, I just said to myself, Mike is right. I should have seen this coming too, because as a Patriots fan, I've seen them do the exact same thing. Just when you think they're done, they show you that they're not. So I think to me, this Chiefs team is the equivalent of the last Patriots team that won the Super Bowl. And after that, and after they beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, I just said, okay, I'm not betting against them anymore. I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes anymore. They have shown me enough. Cam, if there was I swear, if there was one season where the Chiefs would have not made the Super Bowl, it would be this season. And yet here they are. I am just blown away by that team. They blow me away. They are unbelievable. They are the team of this generation of football. I'm not betting against them anymore. I think it'll be a great game today. I think these are two great teams. Now, if the Niners win, would that surprise me? No, because the Niners are a great team too. But let me also tell you something, Cam. I have not been impressed with the San Francisco 49ers in this postseason. Now, they earned a lot of points in the mental toughness category for me with that comeback from down 24-7 against the Lions in the NFC Championship game. But I have not been impressed with how they've played in this postseason. They could have lost that Green Bay Packers game. That game came down to the wire. The Packers were even up at one point in the fourth quarter, so I was not impressed with them in the Packers game. And then they had to come back from down 24-7 versus the Lions in the NFC Championship game. So I have not been impressed with the way that the Niners have played in this postseason. Now, I do want to give Brock Purdy credit because there's been a lot of criticism that has come his way at certain points throughout this season. I agree with what Shannon Sharp said on First Take. He has shown me something these past 2 weeks. That game-winning drive against the Packers and the 24-7 comeback against the Lions, people wanted to see Brock Purdy and how he would play in those situations with all the chips on the line. I want to give him credit. He has shown me something, Brock Purdy, these past 2 weeks. But the Niners as a team, I have just not been that impressed with them. The way they have played in this postseason is not how the best team in the NFL would play. So I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to come down to the wire. Would it shock me if the Niners win? No. But ultimately, Cam, I have decided I am done betting against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. If there was one season that they wouldn't be here, it would be this season. And yet here they are back in the Super Bowl once again. I think it'll be a great game, but I'm done betting against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. My apologies to them for not arriving at that conclusion earlier than I did. But I guess my apology to them is that I'm picking them to win 28-24 today in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so my take here is pretty much the exact same as yours. I mean, I'm rooting for the 49ers, and I am ultimately going to predict that the Chiefs are going to win based off what we've seen. I mean, you just can't count them out. Whenever, like you said, whenever you think they're, yeah, I don't know if it's not looking good for the Chiefs, they come back and win. I mean, that's just what happens. They're that team now. So I think we have to remember that, and I think the 49ers are going to put up a pretty solid fight, and I think it's going to be a really good game. But I think ultimately the Chiefs are going to come up with the victory. And I actually wanted to bring up a statement said by none other than Cam Newton on his podcast. He said something about Brock Purdy that I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it or disagree with it. But it was just like an interesting statement. He said Brock Purdy is the 10th best player on the 49ers. So basically, I mean, he's saying there are just Brock Purdy is surrounded by a bunch of other talent that is one of the reasons why they're doing so well, and it's not really Brock Purdy carrying this team, which I partially agree with. They obviously have some nasty players, Christian McCaffrey in particular, one of the best players in the NFL right now. Um, but I mean, you also have to recognize Brock Purdy has been pretty nasty this year in the NFL and in the playoffs. I mean, granted, they've had their fair share of iffy games, but he's been able to pull out the victory in both of those games, which I feel like we're taking for granted. Sure, it was kind of a struggle throughout the game, but he ended up coming out with the victory, which is kind of what you need, especially in the Super Bowl. You need a clutch player who can just kind of squeak out a victory towards the end if that's what has to happen. Um, but Will, how do you feel about that take from Mr. Cam Newton?
Look, do the Niners have a ton of weapons on offense? Absolutely. That is a part of what makes this team so great. They have basically got the dream scenario when it comes to an offensive package. I mean, it, let's just go down the list. Deebo Samuel, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the NFL. And we haven't even brought up Brandon Ayuk, who is a very good receiver as well. But if you're just looking at like I three of the key ingredients, Cam, to having a Super Bowl team, I think, is having a great receiver, a great tight end, and a great running back. If you have that, then you're going to go far in the NFL. At all three of those positions, you could say the Niners have one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and one of the best running backs in the NFL. Their offensive package is one of the main reasons that they have been such a great team, at points throughout this season. They basically, like, you cannot draw it. You really can't draw up a better offensive package than what they have. But my response to Cam Newton would be this: I'm going to go ahead and take our team, Cam, the New England Patriots. Do you think Jarrett Stidham would be playing that well with the 49ers? Do you think Brian Hoyer would be playing that well with the 49ers? Do you think Mac Jones would be playing that well with the 49ers? Do you think Bailey Zappi would be playing that
Yeah,
well
that's a very
with the 49ers? Maybe they would prove me wrong, but I just think we need to look around the league. Like look around the league at the number of times starting quarterbacks have gone out, backups come in, have the same amount of weapons on offense as the starting quarterback, but just don't play as well. It has happened in the NFL. There's tons of evidence of it. Like look at Trey Lance. If the Niners were if the Niners are what Cam Newton is saying, well then why couldn't Trey Lance come in and play just as well as Brock Purdy has played with the weapons that the 49ers have on their offense. So I get what Cam Newton is saying. And look, do the Niners have a ton of weapons on offense? Absolutely. But ultimately, where I come to the defense of Brock Purdy is I do not believe that other quarterbacks could come in and play as well as he has played with the 49ers as their starting QB. I believe if you put other quarterbacks in the position that Brock Purdy has been put in, I think they would struggle because look, is playing with dynamic offensive weapons like can that help you? Absolutely. But it's also the quarterback who has to make the reads, who has to complete the passes, who has to make the right decisions. And I don't think other quarterbacks could play as well as Brock Purdy has played within this 49ers offense. So my response to Cam Newton is I get what he's saying. Do they have a ton of offensive weapons? Sure. But don't tell me that if you placed certain backup quarterbacks throughout the NFL on the 49ers, that they would play as well as Brock Purdy has played with them. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that was a, I think that was a fantastic retaliation to Cam Newton over there.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, I would like to see how he would respond to that, because that is a very fair point. You have these other low ranked quarterbacks that have been on our squad, and basically Cam Newton is comparing Brock Purdy to a player like that. But when you really think about it, it's just not true. I mean, he's been able to do things that these other quarterbacks that are kind of regarded to be at the same level are doing. He's just much better. I mean, and I feel like Cam didn't realize that. So yeah, I would love to hear how he would respond to that take. Well, um, but yeah, I think it'll be a super exciting game. I think the Chiefs ultimately will come out with the victory, but I will be rooting for the 49ers for today. I will be rooting for the 49ers. I hope Christian McCaffrey has a great game. Hope Brock Purdy really steps it up and plays fantastic. Um, yeah, I'm excited to see the battle of tight ends as well. Travis Kelsey and George Kittle, two of the best tight ends in the NFL. But I mean, if we're being really honest here, Travis Kelsey is basically just a wide receiver. Um, but yeah, super excited for the game. And let's kind of shift things here to something I'm not super excited for. Um, that is the Usher halftime show. Whose idea was that? Usher has not been a relevant musician in so long. His prime was like 2005, and it's 2024, and he's playing in the Super Bowl halftime show. I know he just came out with a new album. I don't know anyone who listened to that album. I haven't listened to the album. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm not here to say if it's good or bad. But I don't know anyone who listened to it. I don't. And I mean, sure, he has his classic songs like Yeah, which, I mean, it's a classic, fun song, but like, he only has three songs that I know. Maybe I'm just not a big enough Usher fan. Maybe everyone else is a big Usher fan. They know more songs than me, which could totally be possible. But from my standpoint, I just think they could have gone with someone else. Like, I mean, someone who's been like dominating the entire NFL season. Someone who they've been showing on the camera every time Travis Kelsey scores a touchdown. Someone like that. Yeah, I don't know who that could be. Um, but really, yes, Taylor Swift has had a big I can't even believe I'm saying this. Taylor Swift has had a big year in the NFL. So, I mean, out of all years for her to do the Super Bowl halftime show, I feel like this would be the year. But no, we got Usher. Will, are you excited for the Usher halftime show?
First of all, on Taylor Swift, I look forward to maybe talking about this year's Grammy Awards
Oh,
on
yeah.
one of our future episodes because Taylor Swift won Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards. So I
She
look
sure
forward to
did.
maybe touching on on that award show on one of our future episodes of the Everything podcast. But I got a couple different takes on this. One, I just don't think Usher is the style of music that I'm into or that I will be into when he performs at the Super Bowl halftime show this year. So am I excited? No, but I've got a different take as to what the NFL is doing here. Let's take a look at some of their, recent halftime shows. A couple years ago, you had all the famous rap hip hop artists doing the halftime show. You had Rihanna do the halftime show um, last last year. I think the NFL is really trying to promote artists of color right now. And I think that, let's be honest, like the rap, like hip hop genre, like that genre of music is huge right now. And I think the NFL is trying to represent like what popular culture or the style of music that most people are into is. So am I excited for the halftime show? No, because Usher, I don't think will be the style of music that I'm into personally. But I think the NFL right now, and I want to give them credit for doing this, I think they're trying to not just have white artists do the halftime show and have some diversity. That's what I feel like they're trying to do, and that's what I want to give them credit for.
Yeah, definitely. I just feel like out of all the years to do Usher, out of all people, Usher, he's not that popular anymore. He and the style of music that he does is a style that isn't really done anymore, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means that that's no one's interested in it. Which isn't that the kind of what you really want? You want people to be interested in the Super Bowl halftime show, and this R and throwback R&B style that Usher has just isn't what people are into these days. So I just think it was a really odd choice to go with Usher for the halftime show, and he's definitely a super talented musician, and I really respect that the NFL is letting having people of color do the halftime show. I think I think Rihanna was great last year. I thought Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, and Mary J. Blige with the 50 Cent appearance were all fantastic. Year before that, um, so maybe this will surprise me. Maybe Usher will really make me become a huge fan of his. I doubt it, but we'll see. I'm sure it will be entertaining at the very least. Um, so yeah, we'll see. But as of now, I think the both of us are not very excited for Usher to perform at the halftime show, which is disappointing. But it is what it is. Maybe next year we'll get a really good halftime show. But who knows, right? Next, here on our agenda, we have something that's really important to a lot of people on Super Bowl Sunday, and it's actually the reason a lot of people tune into the Super Bowl. The trailers, the movie trailers. It's not the reason I tune into the Super Bowl, obviously, um, but it's very entertaining seeing, like, oh my god, that was a wild trailer. I mean, I don't even remember what we got last year, but I remember being excited about a few things. This year, though, we're looking at a few really cool trailers. Originally, I thought the Quiet Place Day 1 trailer was going to drop at the Super Bowl, but that dropped on, like, YouTube a few days ago, so maybe they'll show it, but I don't think it'll be anything new than what we already have. I've heard rumors on a Dune 2 trailer, which I don't. They had made like three full length trailers so far. Will, um,
Three, yes,
yeah, so that would be kind
already
of
three.
yeah, that would be a lot.
Four, four, four would be a little crazy. I don't
I
think
think
I've
three's a
ever.
little crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see three very often. So heck, if they do four trailers, I don't know if that's ever been done before.
Yeah.
They might make history if they do that.
I think the prime reason for them doing that is because it got delayed, so maybe they just want to keep fans interested. But who knows? I mean, I don't think we'll. Me personally, I don't think we'll get a Dune trailer because that would just be wild to get a fourth. But people seem to be saying that we're gonna get a Dune
Well,
2
maybe we
trailer.
won't get a well. If we don't get a trailer, I could see there being a Dune like 30-second TV spot or
Yeah,
something or something like that. I think that would make more sense for Dune, considering that they've already had three trailers.
yeah. But aside from Dune, I think we're looking at a Godzilla versus Kong, that sequel movie. I don't even know what it's called. It doesn't look particularly good, but I'm still probably gonna watch it just for the entertainment factor. There, yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna get a trailer for that. I've heard other people saying that. Uh, I'm not a huge fan of those movies. I saw the first one. I saw the first Godzilla versus Kong. It was fun. I'll watch the movie, but I won't be very excited when I see the trailer. I was well. Obviously, we're gonna get the Deadpool 3 trailer, which I am so excited for, and I'm hoping it doesn't spoil anything because as of now, you still haven't seen Deadpool 1 and 2, correct?
No.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think you're gonna love those movies, Will. The character of Wade Wilson, Deadpool, is hilarious, and it can be heartfelt at times. Both of them, I think they're really good movies. I'm like super excited for the third. But yeah, I think that'll be super exciting when that comes on. And because I know we both are kind of against spoilers for Marvel.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so will you be watching the Deadpool 3 trailer, or are you gonna skip out on it?
Yeah, I'll watch it if it comes, you know, I'll watch it if it comes on because yeah, I mean, ultimately it'll be a trailer and I won't really know any of the
That's
characters.
true.
So I don't think it would be too bad for me. So yeah, if it's on, then I will watch it. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's good. I mean, maybe it'll introduce you to what the humor will be like. I am super excited to see if this trailer chops. I am so excited for this movie. I think when you see the other two Deadpool movies, you're gonna love them. So yeah, I'm super excited for Deadpool 3. I think we're gonna get a trailer for that film, the movie If. It's with Ryan Reynolds. John Krasinski from The Office is directing it. Have you seen the trailer for that? Because I did, and that looked really interesting.
I haven't, but I'll be sure to watch that. It sounds like Ryan Reynolds has two movies
Yeah,
coming
I
out
guess
this
so.
year then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's wild. He hasn't had a. His last big movie was that. Did you watch that the not Halloween, the Christmas one that he did, the Scrooge one? Did you ever have a
Uh,
chance to?
that Ryan Reynolds did.
Yeah, the with
No,
Will Ferrell.
I haven't seen that one. No.
Yeah, 'cause I think that was his last big movie that he had in theaters, or that didn't even go to theaters. So that was a Apple
Yeah,
TV original. So it's
yeah.
been a
Apple
while,
TV. Yeah.
been a while for good old Ryan over there. So I think he's hilarious. Glad to see he's kind of coming back here. Looks like we're getting trailers for Furiosa, which is a spin-off of the Mad Max 2015 movie with Tom Hardy, which I'm a fan of. So I'm excited to see what comes of this Furiosa trailer 2. Or I think it might just be the first trailer because I think the one that got released is a teaser. I think we're going to get a new trailer for The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling, which looks pretty good. And finally, I'm thinking, based off what I've seen, we're going to get a Joker 2 trailer, which would be wild. So yeah, I think the trailer department are looking pretty good. I'm very excited for what we're going to get here. I think it will be a super fun Super Bowl. Um, is there any trailer in particular you're looking forward to, or commercial, um, on that side of the Super Bowl? Anything there you're really looking forward to, Will?
Well, if they drop a TV spot, or dare I say, a fourth trailer for Dune Part Two, anything Dune Part Two related will get my juices flowing, because the three trailers that they've put out so far, I think, have been stunning. I don't
Yeah.
see how they could really uh, be any better. And I've actually, I've read some quotes from the Dune director where he said that the sequel is more action packed than the first one, and he even went as far to say that he thinks it's a much better movie than
Wow.
the original one. So that has me excited. So if any TV spot, or if there's anything Dune Part Two related that they put out during the Super Bowl, that will certainly get my juices flowing, because I don't see how the three trailers that have come out for that movie could be any better.
Yeah, and the Dune movies are interesting because, like, based off how they're described, they're like Star Wars. But when you watch
Right.
them, that's
Yeah.
nothing like Star Wars. It's
Yeah.
just the
I
whole
mean,
vibe
they're
that they
their
give
own.
off.
Yeah.
It's
I
it's
mean,
super interesting.
they're like they're their own two separate things.
Yeah, definitely. But I know it's completely different. The style that Dune is shot, based off the story, you think it'd be like a wacky sci-fi, but it's not. It's shot so elegantly. It looks beautiful. I think the vibe that Dune gives off is really something special. And I think that's actually something that's really important to movies, the vibe of it. I feel like it doesn't get talked about a lot. Um, but before we wrap up this podcast here, I just wanted to mention something to you, Will, that
Yeah.
we can briefly touch on. I got halfway through the Marvels.
Oh. 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 Okay. Okay. Oh.
So I will try
Oh
to
no.
work up enough courage to watch the second half. What even is this movie, Will? What even is this movie? I mean, it might be the it might be the worst movie that I've seen that came out in 2023. What happened? I mean, the first Captain Marvel movie, I am not even a huge fan of. I don't think it's bad. How do you go from something being like, to horrible? It is such a bad movie. Even the Miss Marvel TV show I thought was miles better than this, and I don't like that TV show. I am stunned. Nick Fury, what even happened to him? I mean,
Why? Wait. I want the badass Nick Fury, not this comedic cracking jokes Nick Fury that they have in this movie.
yeah. See, I thought the first Captain Marvel movie was the perfect balance of Nick Fury. He was kind of serious but kind of funny. That was him in his prime, I thought. But now he's just sitting around making jokes about everything. And
Anyway,
during action scenes, he's like, "Oh, he's just like making jokes." What? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's annoying. They keep switching places, and it's making me mad. The villain is not the worst Marvel villain I've ever. I don't even know what her name is, and I mean, she has a cool power set, and she had potential, I guess. But what? I don't care about her. I really don't. I really couldn't care less about that villain. I don't even know who she is. So I will try to work up enough courage to watch the rest of it. But, Will, as of now, I am disgusted by the Marvels. It is kind of shameful that I feel bad because I love this Marvel studio so much, and I lost some respect for myself after watching this movie. or after watching the first half of this movie, yeah, I'm disgusted by it. I'll try to watch the rest and give my full thoughts. But as of now,
Right. Well,
I don't like it. Will,
well,
yeah,
well, yeah, like I think the biggest indictment against it is that movie came out in November, and we haven't talked about it until February 11th, 2024.
yeah,
No, allow me to. Okay, I did not expect this movie to be good. I don't know if I expected it to be that bad. Cam,
yeah,
it's so bad that I'm not even mad at it. It's laughable to me how bad it is.
yeah.
Like it makes me laugh. That's how bad I think it is. Cam, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out last year, and in a typical Marvel Studios year, I think you could easily say Quant. I think you could easily say Quantumania was the worst Marvel movie of this year, but they had two others that came out that were fantastic. I feel like that would be a typical, Marvel year review. I think this is probably worse than Quantumania, and I didn't think
Yeah,
Quantumania was good. I
yeah.
mean, talk about a. What do we have? Guardians 3. Okay, that was a bright
That
spot.
was great. Yep,
I'll give Marvel
that was
credit for that. But
awesome.
what a sub what a subpar big screen year for the
Yeah,
MCU. Cam, the Marvels was so bad in my opinion that it's not even worth getting mad at. It's literally laughable to me. Like that's how bad I think it is.
yeah. I'll finish it.
Uh,
I'll finish it for the laughs. And I've heard some pretty exciting stuff about the end credit scenes.
oh, you
Uh,
now I will say this. The end credit scene will be very exciting for you. I will say that.
all right, so I'll watch. I'll finish it for the end credit scene. But as of now, thank you everyone for watching this episode of the Everything Podcast. It was a quicker one because we just had to pretty much discuss the Super Bowl and I wanted to break it down. Super fun episode. Well, thanks for joining me as always, and thank you to our loyal viewers, our 81 loyal viewers. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday, everyone.